What a relief.
Are we back?
Yeah, we are back. I was trying to work out whose fault that was.
Yes, we're back, and we are in fact standing Ewan at the moment.
It's good. I'm glad we had that there while everything was going wrong. I felt it led us through a tough time. You know what I say? Too much.
Well, if we're gonna freeze on a screen, I'm glad it's the horrible photo of me in a wonderful bunny suit.
They do say too much standing you and can make you go blind, though. That's the problem. Let's take it down before there's any problems. There we go. Oh, that didn't count. That didn't cut the video in half. That's very annoying. Okay. Right. Let's get the bars up again. Who are we starting with, Ben, so I know who to put up?
Okay, I think we probably should do this in 4-point plan order.
Okay.
So we're going to start with Agnar.
Oh, yes.
Not another predictable narrative then. How dare you want to know what's about to happen, or what has already happened before you decide what happens next?
Yes, indeed.
You need to drink,
That's
Ben.
exactly the reason.
It's your night on, so you must drink.
Oh, it is indeed. But to be fair, Ben, I do think that is completely understandable in the context of tabletop role-playing games. In fact, probably advisable.
Yeah, I think it's probably fair, and what we will do, and thank you, Socks. Yes, pre-Fright Fest drinkies,
Yeah.
very important. What we'll probably do is actually we'll intersperse it a little bit with Kat's mission as well, because at 11 o'clock. Kat and Agnar can literally exchange a glance from where they are. They're a fair distance apart, but they know where each other are going to be. So Kat has turned up with a cunning plan. She is wearing tight-fitting but quite bright clothing.
Certainly a plan.
And she has a plan in case she gets caught. But we'll see how that works if she gets caught. Okay. So, Agnar, you see Kat on, some distance away across the hot tubs, and you are paying attention to her as she sort of hovers by her little hatch she's going through, and she's going to drop down as soon as she sees Sharp, and it is almost on the dot of 11:05 that the lift brings up Olivia Sharp to meet Agnar. So Agnar, away you go.
Can he see the lift? Can you see Sharp coming up in the lift before she gets there? I forget how
you can see the lift coming up, but you won't know which lift will bring Sharp until she gets there.
Okay. When it stops on the floor, he'll get his finger ready to press send on his communicator in his pocket. He's already typed out a message. And when it opens and he sees it Sharp, he'll press send, and the group will get a message that just says, "I've got eyes on the permanent marker." And he'll walk up to greet her and they say, "Hello, thank you for agreeing to meet with me."
Okay. Sharp walks over and nods. So you had a thing you wanted to talk about?
Yes. Well, I'm not entirely sure whether how much has been communicated with you, but there's a hot tub trip for the group we're with that we have planned for later this evening. I can't remember how much we discussed last time I was here. I'm not sure whether you're familiar with my military history. Um, army, of course. I started out a commissioned officer, having attended the army university, and had a long, illustrious career. And he'll eke out as much as he can until he gets, and obviously finished my time as a general of the 17th Riff Runners, and as such, I like to ensure that both my team and any teams that I'm working with on the day have a definite plan in place, and everything is organised just as it needs to be. I like a lay of the land before events start, and that's, where possible, I like to give it a bit of a walk around and a once over quickly, and to discuss any issues that may come up. I suppose as the expert on board, you're more likely to be familiar with any possible problems that you could see. So if you would indulge me briefly, we could just have a little walk around here, and I'll show you. I think I remember. I'll show you the hot tubs that we've got booked out, where I plan to be along with the rest of my team. And we'll go from there.
Okay, that sounds that sounds fine. So whereabouts is this that you've set out for this operation of yours?
Well, I'll show you. It's first off, I also understand that you have a prior engagement that you need to get to, so we'll definitely stick to my time frame that I've got here. And he'll pull out his device and he'll scroll down, which leads me on to the approach from the lift. Obviously, this will be the main way that we will be that the party will be getting here. We've got and he'll gesture in the general direction. We've got those hot tubs over there, so I plan to take us this way, with a man observing the forward and a man observing the rear as we go from over there, and he'll gesture off to the side somewhere. I'm not sure. We weren't able to see the bookings for the other hot tubs in this area, so I'm unsure how busy it's likely to be at that sort of time. Do you know how many guests would likely to be hot tubbing at such a time?
I mean, no, not in detail. I can check the systems if you like, and they'll give me an overview of how many have been booked and how many are available, but I don't normally care that much because people just come and go. Often they don't even book, so there's no real way of knowing.
And his face probably drops a little bit when he gets wind that perhaps it's not quite as well observed as he'd thought out. Well, if you wouldn't mind, that'd be that would be wonderful. I hope I'm not asking too much. I do notice your grimace. I hope I'm not out of line or asking too much.
No, it's perfectly reasonable. Sorry, you're planning to bring the entire Geeker diaspora here?
I'm not. I'm going to be honest. I don't have an exact number of how many we're bringing just yet. That's normally agreed on just before we leave. But let me just call up Kara, and I'll confirm the number, because she made the bookings, I believe. So I'll just give her, and he'll pull out his communicator and he'll just hold up a finger to her and call up Kara.
Okay.
Kara's going to see the call come through, and thinking that the best thing to do to delay things is to not answer. she purposefully doesn't answer the first time.
He'll put the phone down. Sorry, she's probably having some more mimosas. Let me just and he'll call again. Kara, you're breaking up, Kara. I can't. Are you taking the mickey? I know there's no tunnels on board. You're not going through one.
I can't hear you. Call back. And then hangs up.
He hangs up the phone frustratingly. So one more try. I'm sorry. Calls again.
Hello?
Oh, Kara, yes. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine.
How's your day been, Agnar?
A bit tired. It's been a long. He catches eyes with Sharp. So listen. No, I don't have time for all this. I'm on the clock. I'm in a meeting with Olivia Sharp. I've got her down at the hot tubs.
How is Sharp? Is she okay?
Yes, I'm sure she's fine. Yes, she's fine. I'm sure.
Can you say hello to her? Can you say hello to her for me? Tell her. Kara
says hi.
Hope you're doing okay.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm trying. You know what she's like, especially after a few drinks. Listen, the hot tubs you booked. How many people did you book? How many were you taking down here?
I believe we booked 3 hot tubs, a little cluster we called them. It was very fortunate that I was lucky to get some of those hot tubs all together. That very much against the odds.
Very lucky.
Very lucky. I think we got 3 or 4 together in a little cluster down the bottom. She'll read off the numbers. She knows what numbers it is that we booked because they're all numbered, aren't they, Ben? I just can't remember the exact numbers. Mm-hmm. Well, we didn't say the numbers, just where they were.
We didn't specify the numbers, but they are all numbered.
She reels off that number. It's a little cluster. There's 3 hot tubs clustered around a waterfall near the bottom, but just up where no one would be passing.
And Agnar will read off the numbers to Sharp as they come through. Yes. But how many of the party are we bringing up here? Not including our team.
It's up to them, I believe. I doubt they'll all want to come, but some of them do look like they could do with a hot tub. But have you told her that we're going to have eyes on, though? That you're going to be peeking over like a furry Bond.
Don't worry, I'm giving her the full answers pre-mission debriefing.
I've been needing to get those out. It's quite warm.
It is indeed.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. I'm going through it all with her. Don't worry. We'll be fine. You enjoy what are you on now? 6th brunch?
Yeah, I'm kind of pub crawling around the little bars and the little stalls. Do you want a novelty? Do you want any novelty goods?
Yeah, I'll take what have they got?
I don't know. Just pick something. I'll pick something close. Ask Sharp if she wants anything. I'll drop it around her office tomorrow.
Wonderful. Okay. Sharp. Do you want anything from the novelty goods section? I haven't even seen one of those.
Well, you know,
do you want anything from a gift shop?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Roll a persuade.
Who's rolling the persuade?
This will be Agnar. You can use. I think under the circumstances, you could probably use social.
Wow, wonderful. That's just a -1 overall. That's a 6. -1 is a 5.
No, thank you. Is there any way we could just get on with this a bit? I am a bit on the clock, you know.
Yeah, sure. Sorry. No, Kara, she doesn't. Sorry, I've got to go, and he'll just hang up.
Have you? Bye. Love you. Bye.
Sorry, my My apologies. You know how she gets. I'm sure you remember from last time. Right. So we're not. What was the question? Numbers.
I don't even know where to begin with the question, because I suppose that the best I can do as regards question is, why do you need me here for this meeting?
Well, it's not a meeting if you're not here. He looks around. I'm by myself.
Oh yes, very well put.
But no, in all seriousness, I just thought that you would be more familiar with the terrain, certainly, than I am by a long way, or at least any issue points, or whether the hot tubs tend to get a bit rowdy if people have had a few drinks late at night, or I just needed a bit of reassurance, I suppose. It's my first my first mission in a hot tub. What do you call this area? Hot tub hall.
We refer to it as the Mountain Springs.
It's certainly my first mission in a Mountain Springs, I'll be honest. But no, I just thought that you might have some perspective, some insider knowledge on the surroundings. But we're unsure. We're unsure on numbers. We're going to offer it up to them and see how many take up. We're going to take a head count before we leave, obviously. But we've got 3 hot tubs booked. I read off the numbers. Those weren't the number of people that we were expecting, because that's a lot.
Okay. Well, how about we go and take a look at those 3 hot tubs, and we'll see if it's convenient to sort of isolate your group a little bit from the rest of the ship's complement.
Oh, I mean, that would be ideal. Let's as you say, let's meander down and have a look at the hot tubs.
While you meander, you need to talk to her, please, Agnar, for a minute.
Oh God, what have I missed in chat?
A minute of wisdom. Gun maintenance with floofy fingers. Gunpowder and dander.
Gunpowder and what?
Dander. Basically,
just making up words now.
Gun maintenance with floofy fingers. You're not a duck. I don't think you have dander.
Goose, I don't have gander.
What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Gun maintenance with floofy fingers. Gun maintenance? Gun, I think, then.
Gun.
Not toothbrushing.
So, for a Varga, actually, gun maintenance
probably more important.
It's probably a bigger topic.
Whichever one you feel more qualified for you.
Okay, you ready? And go.
Now, let me tell you, Sharp. The main issue you come across with gun maintenance as a Varga is not. Funnily enough, gun maintenance isn't clean. You rarely have to clean your gun, but it does need oiling. And let me tell you, that oil, if you haven't extracted any loose hair, especially in summertime when you may be molting quite sufficiently, it's almost the opposite of gun maintenance when you try oiling your gun and also clog up every single mechanism and component of the gun with Varga hair. I mean, these hairs on your fingers aren't quite as thick as the general hair that you would find on a human, but let me tell you, when combined in copious amounts. Do you own a cat? Have you ever seen cats, molt during summer? Your house or your office, I suppose, when
and there you go, that's your time.
That's what I've got.
Yes.
I could picture Sharp's eyes as you walk to the hot tub then. Oh, well done, yeah.
Fantastic.
Thanks. For a topic that I know nothing about, both as a human and somebody who has never maintained a gun.
Although your fingers are quite furry, though.
True. But it was a good one. Thanks for whoever.
Yes, thank you, Socks. That was fun.
On the way down, though, he will. I suppose he'll stop at any point that he sees from a military perspective would be an ideal ambush point, and he'll pause for a minute and look around and say, "Well, this could be a problem if they had personnel come at us from this way and this way with any automated weapons, and they had some artillery up there. This is a real kill box down here. I think. Is there anything we can do about this?"
Can you make a tactics roll for me, please, with intellect first?
Yeah.
Tactics.
That's not bad. That's 8 plus 3.
Okay. You finally managed to start making some sense as far as Sharp's concerned, and she nods approvingly at your picking out of potential access points, areas that might be a threat, and accordingly, she thinks about it for a moment. She says, "I think I can probably provide a couple of people to glare at anyone who tries to use the hot tubs each side of you and encourage them to find somewhere else. We'll, if anyone happens to have reserved one, we'll move them to another location. I think that's a valid thing to do. I think it would make sense to try to keep the passing traffic away from the diaspora as much as possible."
Yes, thank you. I agree wholeheartedly. Thank you. That's much appreciated. It will make our jobs a lot simpler on the day today.
Right. Well, if that's all you need, then.
Well, no. There's we're are we at the hot tubs yet, Ben?
Yeah, you're standing in that area.
On the way down. I mean, we've still got the second and the third, the first and the second levels, just to walk up, and if we spiral up, I just want to highlight a couple of other points that have got some really good vantage points over these particular hot tubs.
She checks the time and then quite wearily shrugs, like, "Okay, let's do that," and starts walking up the mountain with you as you point out various things left and right as you go. You've wasted about 20 minutes or so of the 25 she has before she has to get back if she wants to be bang on time for her meeting. So while this is going on, Kat has been making her way through various passageways and what have you. When she initially got in there, she actually had to hide for a couple of minutes round a corner because there were some people using the passageways to just move about regularly. However, she did find the right vent after a brief delay. She did then make it into her assigned location and has been crawling through the vents. She then made a really very, very good stealth roll and did so very successfully.
That's what we like.
Dropping out into Sharp's office, and she has immediately contacted Kara and said, "What do I do now?"
Mama Bear here. Mama Bear. Reading you loud and clear. And I would assume that before this point, Kara has made sure that the computer is logged up, ready to go, and such like, and so on. And she'll say, on Sharp's, on the computer system, what do you see?
A password screen, login screen.
Okie dokie. Standard password screen. Is there a certain number of spaces on the password?
Not that I can tell. No,
I am invincible.
a sort of waiting thing. I don't know if it responds to voice or requires biometrics or anything.
Okie dokie. Is it connected to? Is there a keyboard or an alphanumeric nearby?
Yeah, there's a keyboard.
Okay, bear with me a second. Now, I know, because we're going old school here, Ben, that Kara has broken into security in the past when all the camera stuff was going on.
That's right, she has.
So she knows how to get into the security system. So, is there something I can run on the computer that might take a few minutes or whatever to sort of try and create a backdoor or way through or a way to circumvent it for Kat as she's there, or at least to delve into the security to look for passwords?
Yes, the route that you'd probably need to use. Can you roll a straight electronics computing check for me with intellect?
Yes. Ah! I hit the camera, sorry. That's so exciting. 8 plus 3 is 11.
Okay. Your easiest route in is to create an account with all of the same privileges as Sharp's account with a password that you will know.
Okay.
So if you want to go that way, we'll do a quick check. This time you can use your +1 as well.
Thank you.
It's not the easiest thing to do, and how well you do it will affect the time.
Okie dokie. Yeah, I've got to be good with it though, because otherwise Sharp will turn up, see something's wrong, and then email everyone saying, "Hi, if you get a message from this account, it's not actually me," and then I'm ruined. Here we go. I've been hacked. Bear with me. Don't click on this link if it comes to you guys. It's not pictures of me at the beach. Let's see what we do. Okay, well, we'll see, Ben, depending on how well I do here. Because, I can't call Kitten. I've hit a 10 overall. 6 plus 4 is a 10.
A 10,
Yeah.
Okay. And so that includes all your bonuses?
It does include my bonuses, yeah. It's not the best roll of the night, let's put it that way.
Okay, can you roll 1d6 for me?
Okay, this is one I never know if it's good or not. It's either really good or really terrible, though. It's a 1.
It's all right.
Oh, thank goodness.
Okay.
I want to just roll 3s at that point. That's all I want.
You pass some information, about 10 minutes it takes you.
Okay.
You pass some information to Kat, telling her that she can log in using the account name Kitten and the password RAR. WARAWR.
Very nice.
R-A... I need to write it down because it's important for the encyclopedia. R-A-W-R. Okay.
Okay. and she immediately settles down and does that, and it logs her straight in with all of the required permissions. So she's now looking at the entire system. She says, "Great, I'm in. What do I do now?"
Can I, if I'm getting my time right, if Cat started infill at 5 past, and we said it would take about 5 minutes to get through the vents in total. There's 10 minutes to the baths and then 5 minutes through the vents. So it's 10 past, plus an extra 10 minutes of the hacking. So we're looking at 20 past now, which is about 5 minutes before where we left Agnar and Sharp, right? Because they were about 20 minutes in. Okay, just so I'm aware. I'm just keeping track of my numbers. So it's 8:25 for them. It's 11:25, and it's 10. It's 11:20 here. Okay. Cara, so what can you see?
She lays out for you the various things that are under control, and one of the ones she mentions is engineering, which sounds sensible.
Okay, go into engineering for me, please.
You pull that up. It includes electrical sensors, security systems, the whole lot.
Okay, we're going to need security systems down for a specific hatch. And Cara will, looking at the schematics and sort of, I sort of visualising Sammy sort of leaning over, sort of pointing at the one we want, sort of thing. Like, this is the one, this is where we're at. And Cara saying, this is, I need you to disable security systems for this hatch. We've come across it before. You should be able to just turn off one door.
Yes.
As in and out.
All right. So it takes her a few minutes, not that long, to find the right one. And indeed, there is ultimately an option to just switch off the alarm on that one hatch.
Cool.
And she says, "You want me to go ahead and hit it?"
We're in place. The three of us with Soraya. Yep. Go for it. And when you're done, log out, get out the hatch, and we'll see what we're doing from there.
Okay. Right. She immediately reports, "All done. Alarm's clear. I've logged out. I'm getting back into the hatch now." And moments later, she reports that she successfully closed the hatch and she's creeping her way out again. And she's going to take it as carefully as she can. And we will see. But she's going to take her time coming back out because there's no hurry anymore.
No, just look for the best. Look for the best and quietest moment for each step. Good stuff, Cat.
Okay. The alarm is off, and Agnar will presumably have been able to catch a glimpse of this. Roughly, that's about the right time for, essentially, as she'd finished that work, she was climbing back into the hatch at exactly the same time as Sharp was following Agnar up the slope and looking at her watch and thinking, "God, this is taking forever." Okay. So you have ticked off the first two components.
I did sabotage, you're right. Sorry, what was that, Ben? I think you were saying something just as sabotage played. That ruined everything.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's you've ticked off the first two components.
Ah, yes.
How long Agnar manages to keep Sharp occupied will only wear on her very last nerve. It won't now make a difference as to what she will learn going back to her office.
Can we cut to them quickly at some point up the slope? Because there's enough. He'll probably try and go on as long as possible, but he won't. He won't try and broach any relationship that the Baltic Star has formed with her, and he won't endanger that, I suppose. But he would very much like to ask her. I don't know. Don't know if it's any use to you, but I caught this this person paying what seemed like an unreasonable amount of attention to me earlier on today, as we were checking out the hot tubs. As it happens, it seems silly. I managed to catch. It's not a very good photo, but I did manage to catch a photo. I think it wasn't a very good photo. I can't really remember.
Okay.
Out of character, and he'll show her the photo.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Can you? I want you to do a deception check for me with intellect, please.
Ooh.
I like it.
Is it? Am I deceiving?
You're always deceiving.
No, you're not.
I mean, it happened, right? There was definitely a person paying. Okay, that's cool. I will make the roll anyway. That is a 7. My deception is 1. My intellect is 0, so that is an 8.
A total of 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. The reason I wanted you to roll it is not because you were being deceptive, but because there was a chance you might be able to spot deception in someone, which you have done. Not enough to really know why or anything, but you get the strong impression that Sharp, when she says she has no idea who that is, might not be giving you the whole story.
He'll stop where he's walking and he'll say, "Is this one of yours?" I don't mind. I'd rather that than the alternative. But if it's someone that's going to cause us trouble, I think I don't want to say you owe us, but I feel as though we're at that point where we could professionally give each other that information.
It's not one of my staff, no.
Okay. Unless you want to give me more, I think that's all I need to know. Just as long as you know that they've been paying some attention to us.
Okay, I'll keep it in mind.
I figure between the both of us, we can deal with most things that may come along on the voyage.
Okay, that's good. Well, when you finally, she doesn't seem to be forthcoming on this. She doesn't want to tell you anything she knows, but you do get the impression she might not be telling you the whole story. She might know something about that person. Or possibly guess something about that person, you know. But she eventually says, "Look, I have to go for my team briefing," and starts her way down the hill. And she says, "Because literally they'll all be gathering in my office waiting for me."
What sort of time is it? In fact, Agnar will look at his device.
It's almost exactly 11:30.
Given that fact, and he was told to hang on till 22. He'll sort of he'll start waving at her, and as he's waving, okay, I'm just gonna hang around here and check out the rest of the hot tubs as he starts walking backwards, and Pratt falls into a hot tub.
Oh.
And then just shouts out, "Help! Someone help! I can't swim."
Can you roll a persuade with intellect for me, please?
Oh God. Can this one not be deception?
Oh yeah, you can have deception if you like, if you prefer.
Thanks.
That will work
doesn't
as well.
make too much difference. That's a 10 plus 1 is 11.
It'll be with dex though, not intellect if it's deception.
Oh. That will be a 10 plus 3 is a 13.
Okay. She absolutely falls for your little scam, and sort of immediately drops down onto her knees by the tub and grabs hold of as much floof as she can in both hands, and starts helping you over to the side, looking genuinely quite concerned that you might be struggling, and manages to try and get you up towards the surface and to the side. Are you thrashing around trying to fight her to buy time, or are you letting her rescue you?
He will be thrashing around. He's not a great swimmer, but he will certainly be trying to thrash in the general downwards direction.
All right. On that basis, can you do a strength roll for me, please?
Just strength, Ben.
Just strength.
Oh no.
Good news, everyone. That's an 8. Minus 1 is a 7.
A 7. Okay. It doesn't go well. Your desperate attempts to look bedraggled and pathetic may work up to a point, but Sharp grabs firm hold, literally yoinks you over to the side of the hot tub, and practically sits you on the edge of it without. It's like pulling a toddler out of the water almost. And she immediately sort of squats down next to you. You okay?
As he realises that he's losing, can he just go limp and act like a dead weight and unconscious? I know it's not been that long. But that is definitely what he'll do, and he'll be lying on the side of the pool, if that's all right with you, Ben. With eyes shut, not saying anything.
Oh dear.
Yes, he can go limp. All right. She's going to do a medical check.
If only there was a medic around.
Oh, she's gonna never see Agnar in the same light again anymore. He was the manly, beefy one.
He talks such a good military game as well on the way up here.
He's going to get a touch of the vapours and faint on the way back as well, I'd imagine.
This is the guy, you understand, who was a general in the Imperial Army.
Yeah.
Okay.
Army, not Navy.
She's not done well in her med check, so she opens up a communicator and immediately calls for medical help.
And Agnar's going to lie there until he hears running footsteps, heavy footsteps.
Can you roll 1d6 for me, please?
Yeah. That's a 6. It might be the first 1d6 I think I've had to roll, because I don't hack anything.
Oh, you don't hack? Yeah, of course.
1d6, okay. That actually buys you another 6 minutes before the medics arrive and find where you are in the sort of maze of hot tubs and little walk-ups and walk-downs. Which brings you damned close, if not at, your 22.
Wonderful. As he hears footsteps arrive, he'll take a deep breath in of air and his eyes will shoot open, and he'll start coughing up and spluttering a bit, and oh my goodness, Sharp, and he'll sit up and just give her a hug. Thank you.
You're welcome. She sort of beckons over the medics, and then says, they'll take care of you. I really have to go. Unless Kelly wants Agnar to tell a story, in which case, since you've redeemed it in chat, yes.
A tale from your past, then, Agnar, it's got to be, I think.
You can tell a tale as Agnar, and you'll easily buy the remaining minutes necessary to delay her.
Ah, wonderful. Is it? It's a tale. It's not even a. Sorry, I thought it was going to be a minute of wisdom.
It's a tale from Agnar's past.
Thank you so much. I haven't been so afraid. Have I? Why would I have told you? So, sorry, I'm in a bit of a daze. Speak to Kara. She'll tell you about the time that my father tried to teach me how to swim. Back at home when I was growing up on our little plot of land near a lake that was unoccupied apart from the odd fish, but he was very much the sink or swim type of swimming teacher, and it went poorly several times. I was grabbed by the scruff of my neck, and I don't know if you're familiar with cats, but a similar sort of thing happens to Varga at a young age, and thrown into the lake. Not deep. I was never in any danger. My father is a tremendous swimmer. Was a tremendous swimmer, but needless to say, it went poorly, and I sunk deep down to the bottom, passing the odd native fish, and the first time, on more than one occasion, in fact, but especially the first time, I thought, this is it. This is the end of Agnar Arnson. Before being at the last minute dragged to shore, much as you just had done then, although I have to say he was a little bit quicker to react than you were by my father, and that was the sum total of my swimming lessons. Would you believe it? I mean, I guess you would. You saw my vain attempt at trying to float. But let me tell you, do you have children?
No.
Let me tell you, if you do, teach them to swim properly. Don't just throw them in the water, because it's a bad way to teach somebody how to swim.
Yeah, I don't think I believe in throwing children in water. No, don't really believe in throwing children anywhere, honestly.
I mean the principle has its place, and especially in some Varga cultures, but there are things that you can learn by being thrown in at the deep end, as it were. But swimming is certainly not one of them, from my experience.
If at first you don't succeed, skydiving is not your sport.
Indeed. It was a safe environment. He, as I say, he was a very strong swimmer and always around to look out for me. But the lesson didn't sink in, as it were.
Yes. Oh well. Okay. Anyway, glad to see you're feeling better. I've really got to go to my meeting.
Yes. Please, don't be late for your meeting on account of my health. Go. Do go.
And
thank you again.
She waves over the medics, and sets off at speed, throwing an occasional glance over her shoulder to make sure you're not fainting or falling back into the hot tub or anything. But the medics have now got to you and are checking you over. And as we know, they're not actually going to find anything that they need to worry about.
Agnar will start backseat driving the medics. Well, no. You make sure to check for so and so. Agnar's a medic. I'm not. That can also be an underlying sign of ... etc. etc.
Yes. Okay. So while all this is happening, two other things have happened or are going on at the moment. One is that in her route out, Kat was indeed intercepted by someone rushing to the team meeting down the passageway leading to the security offices, who did want to know what the hell she was doing there. Her stealth on the way out wasn't as good as her stealth on the way in. However, her explanation was unbelievably well received, and accordingly, she was told not to be so silly in the future and sent on her way. If people are curious what the explanation is, because we're not actually playing through that bit, I will let you know, but it doesn't matter from a game point of view. So we can cut straight to the third part of the 4-part plan.
The tunnels.
You have to break in through a hatch.
Let's break in for a hatch. Kara finishes the call with Kat as she's on the line as she hears it going through. That she's pressed the thing, done the thing. There was a light on the hatches, wasn't there, Ben, last time?
Yes, yeah, which essentially indicates whether or not they are locked or unlocked, and whether or not the alarm is live.
So we saw that sort of ping off, I guess, and hearing everything from Kat and everything. When that moment comes, Kara has a quick look around. Is there anyone watching us? Is there anyone around?
Can you roll a recon check for me?
In there.
You can have intellect with that.
Oh, thank you. Okay, 0 plus intellect plus 2. She doesn't know who they are. 3 plus 2 is 4. 4 plus 2 is 6, sorry.
You don't spot anyone at all.
I've done a good job. Okay, guys, let's go in. She motions to Soraya to open the door and head through.
Okay, you pull open the handle. The hatch swings inwards. There is no alarm going off. And the three of you troop inside. Are you going to close the hatch behind you?
This is where we have to decide whether it re-alarms, if it comes back on or not. Yeah, let's worry about that later.
Good philosophy.
Because if we sort of prop it open with a potato or something, and it does come back on, that might trigger people to the point before. Whereas if it's after, we can worry about that later. Yeah, we'll close it carefully behind us.
Okay. All right. You close the hatch and make your way forward into the sort of hallway, and what you can see as you come in, I will show you, he says, hopefully.
threaten me with a good time.
Okay. This is very similar to the one you'll remember before.
Yes.
You are at the hatch number 3 on the way down the left. So if I quickly put some indicator here, we have Soraya is slightly inebriated, remember?
That's when she does her best work. She's in the pocket, then. She's in the pocket.
In the pocket, quite right. Is essentially here on the map. So, because of that, you have a long corridor running, for our purposes, north and south, with multiple hatch entrances down its left-hand side. And there are 4 passageways off to the east side of it. And it is up to you to decide how to proceed. The others are with you. It's just I haven't put them on the map yet.
But understandable. I feel like more effort than is worth at this point. Soraya will turn to Sammy and say, "Have you got any idea where's a good place to start? Or are you as blind as we are at this point?"
Sammy says, "I know it's in this section, and I know what to look for when we get there. These sort of greenish painted pipes that we've got to pull open an access panel and cut the wire. But beyond knowing there are 3 of them, sorry."
Okay, greenish pipes. 3 of them. Okay. Well, let's start with this door, and we'll have a look around when we get there. I guess we've got to do it as quick as possible, but without making mistakes.
All right. So you're going through the one directly in front of you?
Yeah, might as well. Let's not hang around.
Okie dokie.
Up the geeks, spares up the geeks.
Okay. You crack open the first lock directly in front of you. It is an airlock, as you'd imagine. You pressing through into the next one?
Yes, please.
Okay. And as you press through into the next section, you see all the way down the corridor what looks familiar enough as a sort of green pipe access point on the right. And Sammy, who's with you obviously, indicates that could be one of them.
Okay, let's go over to that first option.
All right. Are you all going together to it, or are you going to split up and search?
Cara will stay with Sammy. Soraya will head off on her own. Cara doesn't know so much what she's looking for because it's not her strength, I guess. She's there just in case, but she doesn't feel confident enough to. Whereas Soraya knows what she's looking for.
Okay.
Oh, actually, Cara's going to go Soraya because Soraya knows what she's looking for, but I haven't checked how shaky her hands are at the minute.
All right. Okay. Okay, fair enough. So the question then becomes who's going this way and who might be going elsewhere. Soraya and Cara, you say, are travelling together?
Yeah, they'll travel together, which is a bit awkward for in-game, but to me, that's the better combination. Cara trusts Sammy to get it done at this point, if that makes sense. She trusts Soraya to get it done. She just wants to make sure that Soraya gets it done.
Okay. Then who's going to the one that you can see, and who's going to search elsewhere?
Ooh.
Do you want to send Sammy off to take a different look, or do you want to go off?
No, let's go. Let's send Sammy off. Soraya and Cara go to the one that's there. Sammy spotted it so well. She seems to know what she's looking for.
Can you roll a d6 for me, please?
Yes. 4.
4. Okay. That's essentially going to be the one immediately below, isn't it? So that's going to be that one, and Sammy is going to end up down here. And if we go that way, luckily enough, potentially a useful role, Sammy can also see a green panel to attack. So Sammy heads off to the southern one of the two that you can see there.
Yep.
Soraya and Cara head off to the northern one, and in doing so, they essentially automatically see the crossways, which aren't guarded by doors, to the north. Which also means they spot the third.
We're doing good work. Doing good work, girls. Doing good work tonight.
Okay, so Sammy on the southernmost, Soraya and Cara are on the northern ones. Do you want to take one each, since it's actually possible for Soraya and Cara to talk each other through them?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's say it. Soraya will take the southern one and Cara will go up to the northern one. Of those two.
So let's do them in sort of logical order. Soraya was the first one to have one to spot, and she can go first.
Good.
This is an electronics check. This will be electronic sensors.
Okay. Hang on a sec. Okay. Does Soraya get anything else with that as well? Her intellect, maybe?
Yes, intellect.
Okay. +3 for Soraya. It's nice for Soraya not to have to use her jack of all trades for something. She's got the least widespread skills, but the jack of all trades covers a lot of shortcomings, if that makes sense. We'll see. 7 plus a 3 is 10.
Okay. Can you roll 1d6 for me, please?
I can. 2.
A 2. Okay. In total, you made your way through the lock at about 25 past.
Yep.
And then pootling around, deciding what to do as a group. It's taken you 5 minutes to get there.
Yep. And
then another, now, 2 minutes to actually open the panel and successfully find that switch.
Yeah,
you've cut the wire, and as far as you can tell, job done.
Cool.
So the time now is 20 past +5, 25, 27 past 11. Okay?
Yep.
Next up, Sammy. She was the first of the other two to spot her objective. Oh, that's not bad. No. It's an 8.
Yeah.
And though she gets there a couple of minutes after you, She actually does it even quicker. She rolled a 1 for the time.
Nice.
So our headline time is still 27 minutes past. Okay. We need one for Cara.
Yes.
She's going to be starting at 27 minutes past.
Okay, I'd like to point out at this point that my cypress rubber is served us well, but it's a little bit worse for where I'm about to lose whatever that top thin corner at the top of cypress is.
Oh, yeah.
It's about to go.
The panhandle, as an American might call it.
Sorry, everyone. It's about to make a bid for freedom.
Don't apologise to us, Luke. None of us live there.
Sorry, I apologise to Ali. Sorry. Okay, here we go. Right, this is why I didn't want to split them, ideally, because Cara doesn't have those skills. I know I've got to argue with you that I could use another different skill.
Which skill?
Philosophy.
Yeah, philosopher's tip. Computers or communications?
You know what? Since she's actually had the opportunity to see someone have a go, communications, why not?
Good. I'm glad you said that, because otherwise I'd have just dropped an EMP when I was grumpy. Fine then.
If in doubt.
EMP it. Alright, cool. Comms, do I get intellect or education with it, Ben?
Yeah, you'll get intellect with that.
Thank you. Okay. Then it's a 6, but plus 4 is a 10.
Fantastic. Well done. Roll 1d6 for me, please.
I will try. 4.
A 4.
A bit longer.
Cara takes a little bit longer, little bit less familiar with these kind of things, but she too manages to get her thing sorted. The time is now 11:31. So what are you doing now?
Cara sort of calls to Sammy, not screaming, but across the corridor. You confident it's done, your end, Sammy?
Sammy's already making her way back to the main entrance corridor, and she hears a yell and responds over her communicator. All clear this end.
Right. Let's roll out then. And heads to the doorway as well.
Okay. The three of you reunite at the doorway. What's your plan? Are you going to pop it open immediately?
Is there lights? Is there lights from the inside?
There are lights on the inside as well. Yes.
And what's it looking at 11:31?
It looks as if it is unalarmed at the moment.
Okay, let's get out quick. Let's go.
Okay. It's actually about 11:35 by the time you pop the door. Just takes you a few minutes to get back there, you understand.
Yeah.
You pop open the door. It's about 11:35. You haul yourself out. Can you roll a recon check for both of them, please?
Ooh. Flat recon?
With intellect.
Okay, thank you. What? Sarai's drunk, right?
Yep.
Jack of all trades 2, so that's a -1, and a 3. So she hit 2.
Total of 2. Okay.
Okay. So she's really not paying any attention.
Sammy got a 6.
What did you say? I got to add something to that. Sorry, did you say?
Intellect and recon.
Oh, so Sarai's 3 in total. That makes a big difference, of course. Cara might be okay. It's a 7 plus a 2 is a 9.
Okay. You hop out, pull the hatch closed. You're in the process of, making your way off. When Kara notices that a person, just a regular-looking person, is staring at the three of you with a concerned frown, shall we say.
Okay. What are the... Because this is in habitation, isn't it? So we had to come down. If I remember correctly, we had to come down. Are they...
You're at the bottom of a habitation module lift shaft.
Are they closer to the lift than we are?
They will be... no, bit further away, probably. You're very close to the lift.
Okay, Kara nods to Soraya to go over to the lift. And her and she sort of pulls Sammy along to walk towards the person. Is it male or female? What are we looking at here? A young,
it's
old?
a male person.
Good evening, friend. How are you?
I'm okay. You're not supposed to be in those.
I know, we got a bit lost. I'm sorry. It's our first time on one of these cruises. Is one of these your rooms?
I'm just going to call security.
You don't need to call security.
Can you roll a persuade for me, please, with intellect?
Ah! So let me sort you out there. What was that? Persuade with intellect, did you say?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, goodness for that. Hey! Woo!
11 plus what?
4, 15.
15.
She went full Obi-Wan Kenobi on him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fine,
You don't need to see our papers.
I've been hitting 5
This-
and 6s all night.
This is someone who literally saw 3 highly suspicious people crawling out of a hatch and was absolutely convinced you must be up to no good, and you roll a 15. He sort of says, of course. I'm sorry, I probably overreacted. You got lost, you say. Do you need help finding your own quarters?
Yeah, is this... how do the quarters numbers work again, Ben? Just so I can put it into a sentence? Or does that... Or, I'll bumble through otherwise.
Essentially, they're just numbered. 3-digit numbers, typically.
Okay, Kara will purposefully pick one that she knows is just sort of the next one along kind of thing. And she'll say, is this... Wait, is this 317? This isn't 317, is it?
No, I see where you went wrong. If you head up to the top of the lift shaft again, back to the concourse, and head one over towards the stern, you should be fine.
Oh, you are an absolute legend. Thank you. And she holds out her fist for a fist bump for the home.
For the homies.
Roll a dex for me, please.
Oh no! It's all gone horribly wrong. I accidentally punched him in the face. Oh, maybe 8. 6 and 2.
Yeah. You complete the fist bump. He didn't do as well as you, so he kind of hovers his fist a bit weakly in the air, and you have to tap against his knuckles. But yes, you even get a little bit of a smile from him as he goes.
Take care, man. Have a great cruise.
Thank you.
Well, thank you.
And he turns around. He's still looking a little bit baffled, but he's over it. And as you disappear up the lift shaft, you finish the your report in, so everyone knows everyone's clear, and you can just hear Kat excitedly over your private comm channel explaining to everybody that she came up with this really clever idea for getting away with getting caught. And she put a list, of like challenges to be completed by passengers on the ship that some anonymous passenger had allegedly created, which included getting into the security offices and writing and drawing something offensive on one of their whiteboards, and taking a picture of it.
Cat rolled an 18.
And even though she, it was a bit of a stretch, she rolled an 11 with the when she was explaining it. And she's young, and she clearly wasn't dressed for stealth, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And she was actually holding out this list, which clearly had that. I mean, you understand she'd written the list herself, but nonetheless, it clearly had that on it. And the security guy was sufficiently charmed and, believed that was probably not going to cause that much harm in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
So,
Beautiful.
so yes, you all stagger out of your various places, and you assemble on the concourse in different places. You're heading back from different directions and everything, but you all hear, as do the rest of your party and your charges, the diaspora, hear an announcement come over the tannoy system, and it says, "We apologize for a slight delay. We have a sensor malfunction, and we need to repair it before we can get underway to jump. This shouldn't make a significant distance to our journey, but we expect a delay of between 1 and 2 hours before we can continue. We'll keep you updated." And that's where we'll call it for tonight.
Oh, glorious. There was also, I don't know whether you caught it, Ben, a name an NPC redeemed towards the end in chat.
I didn't catch it, I'm sorry.
I'm not going to read it out, but good luck.
How on earth did I inspire that? I'm worried if I inspire that sort of thing. I have to rethink how I do life.
Majestic!
Bit of resplending, Ben. Good, because I've missed some resplending this evening.
And a
Happy
cat.
to do resplending. Hold on.
Oh, look at that.
Some slight resplending.
Which of us is would have, which is could have, and which is should have? That's what I want to know.
It's like...
Just move the camera for the hat.
It's like, I don't know where I was going with that.
Rose's cat is on board.
Oh, God. Yes. I have genuinely no idea how to do that NPC socks, but I'll make a note and I will try.
Make it paintings again.
We have faith, Ben, yeah. It'll happen.
Right, Rose's cat. Yes, we can do Rose's cat. Hold on a sec. Okay. Rose's cat. Rose's cat. Rose's cat. Here we go. Meanwhile, on the Baltic Star, Kronsorama was finishing his final tour of the ship, all systems on. He carefully checked to make sure he'd be back on the bridge before the computer shut everything down again, Not that it was impossible to navigate the vessel in darkness, just embarrassing. As he reached the bridge, he sat in the captain's chair, just because he could, and idly speculated as to how Rachel Axis was getting on with Rose's cat, Caboodle. At that same moment, Axis was standing stiffly, almost at attention, in front of two plainclothes members of the Imperial Security Forces. "Can I help you?" she asked, as calmly as she could, not being someone who was naturally disposed to causing trouble, even when not carrying a tiny furball in her bag. "Engineer Axis of the Baltic Star," one of the officers said, not really a question. "The very same," she answered. The officers looked around them, searching for something. Eventually they settled upon a cafe just off the concourse. "Could we speak in there?" Axis nodded and followed the pair to the cafe. They found a table in the corner, and the officers waved away the staff with a quick flash of identification. After a moment, they leant forward conspiratorially. Axis copied the move. Very quietly, one of them said, "We have a problem that might suit someone of your skills. We need discretion, imaginative thinking, and, for reasons that will become clear, we can't use an engineer from the Imperial Navy, or at least we'd much prefer not to." Axis nodded. "I see," she lied. The other officer spoke. "We heard about your clever use of a cat to solve an engineering problem. We need that sort of lateral thinking approach in a more serious matter." For a moment, Axis wondered what the consequences might be if she refused the request, but at least it couldn't do any harm to hear them out. "Go on," she said with a swift nod. "Is there any way you can think of to kill someone with a holo projector?" The first officer was again speaking in low tones, perhaps even lower than before. Axis glanced at the cat, peering through the mesh at one end of the holdall. "I mean, you could hit someone with it, but I'm guessing that's not what you mean." The officers nodded in perfect unison. "Well then, yes, obviously you can kill someone with a holo. I've never heard of it happening, but sure." Axis sat back, arms folded. The two officers exchanged a look. Then the senior of the two smiled. "We need to take you to a crime scene, or possibly the scene of an accident. Come with us." Axis grinned at them. "You need to ask Caboodle." The officers looked completely lost, so she continued. "The cat. You need to ask the cat." "Why?" asked the junior of the pair. "I work for the cat, at least today. My job is to take care of the cat. If you want me to do something else, ask the cat if it's okay." The two officers stared at her for a few seconds. Axis showed no sign that she was joking. The senior of the two eventually leant over, putting his face next to the holdall. "Hello, cat. Do you mind if we borrow Engineer Axis for a non-cat related project?" Caboodle watched the officer carefully and let out a tiny chirp of a purr. The officer smiled. "Thank you." And we'll find out what that one was about next time.
Nice.
Caboodle's well and truly in charge now.
Indeed. As is a cat's prerogative.
Well, yes. Even when they're not in charge, they believe they are, so, you know.
Yeah.
It's nice to leave it that way. Let them assume it. Oh, thank you, Ben. Good work as always.
Thank you, and thank you, Sparrow, for redeeming a Rose's cat. Always fun.
It is always fun.
They are indeed.
So,
As our traveller adventures.
Tomorrow we have Gilly.
Gilly's with us. Yeah, it's been ages since it's cancelled the last one. Gilly's here. And you're all gonna die.
Which must mean it's those dark places.
Yeah. The Gilly part, to me, sounds more festive than the you're all gonna die part.
I could try and say it more festively.
I'm not thinking the way you said it was the thing that made it unfestive.
It's not the delivery.
It's the content, not the presentation.
Indeed.
Yes. Yeah. So that's what we're doing tomorrow. That's 11ish UK time.
Yeah. Those dark places. A nice bit of hard sci-fi horror. Very alien, Outland, that kind of vibe.
And as we should remind people, it is the last chance to do an actual proper weekend stream with us, at least, for a fortnight, isn't it? Because we're all taking the following weekend off.
Oh, I feel bad about it in a way, but you know.
Yeah, so do I, because it's the first time we've missed everything, isn't it? But you know, every now and then you need a break.
But we'll get Thursday and Monday done, just not the Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, which will be lovely. I mean, I won't be there for either of those, but
I'll be shouting into the void without you there.
Yeah, I know, and we're probably going to need a volunteer to do the CLD.
I was going to say, have you got an official CLD?
I need a CLD replacement, a deputy CLD
replacement.
Yeah, I need someone that's responsible to reset the CLD counter on Thursday.
Yes. Anyway, thank you so much to everybody for joining us. Thank you, Luke and Ewan, for playing. It's been enormous fun.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
And Kelly said it'll make the next one seem much more special. Well, it will, because I believe the following Saturday is Orbital Blues.
Oh, that's going to be fabulous, yeah.
If I checked the calendars correctly, so it will feel a bit special. There you go.
Yeah. Bit of OB is lovely.
So, swallow hard. Ah, Fids, okay, that's all right. Ah, no, that's okay. We'll readjust that. Don't worry about that. We'll sort something out. That was the plan long ago, but we haven't really worked on it since then. So yeah, that's no problem, mate.
We will do what we need to do. I promise you, we will find a thing.
Something magical.
Yeah, something will definitely happen on the Saturday.
Brilliant.
So I think
tomorrow,
we're all around for Friday
those
Traveller
dark
that
places.
Yeah, I think so. Friday's good for travel.
And then Monday it'll be a morose Monday or whatever, won't it?
Meditative Monday. But it has all gone a bit mysterious. It's gone to mysterious.
I apologise, Luke. You're quite right. Medicated Monday.
It needs to be by Monday, mate, I tell you. Yes, thank you. Thank you, chat. I am reading it, but we're just trying to sum up, and I'm rubbish at answering when we're summing up. Fid said that we should raid Lee, which I'm definitely not against doing.
Oh yeah, if Lee is up and about, why not?
Yeah, fantastic. It might make you lot feel morose, but it makes me feel wonderful. So that's why I do it. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Ben.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, chat. Thank you, VODers, if you join in on VOD. And with a bit of luck, see some of you tomorrow for some TDP.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for joining us, Ali. Goodbye,
Good night.
everyone. Let's raid. Take around to raid. Say hello to Lee at least, yeah? Let's do it.
Cheers.
Jump on the raid. Toot toot. Let's get it going. Right, here we go. And we're raiding now.